beautiful people. Happy Saturday morning. It's a beautiful one here. I just ran out for coffee and the sun was shining. It was like perfect temperature. And I walked outside and just said, thank you. Thank you for a beautiful day, universe. And actually, I thanked Oscar too. Today's his memorial. And I thanked him for setting us up to go outside and be able to say goodbye to him, not in like the pouring down rain or anything like that. It's a beautiful day, like he lived a beautiful life serving people. All right, so today's reading the quote is from James Oppenheim. The foolish man seeks happiness in the distance. The wise man grows it under his feet. Ooh, that's a pretty interesting one. We have so many memories, and it's sadly true that often the unhappy ones are the easiest to recall. Sometimes these memories dog us through a day, and the past tinges our present with sadness. This keeps us from being at our best, but it doesn't have to happen. In our recovery, we're learning to live each day and to relish the present moment. This means not letting old hurts, guilt, and shame from the past invade our lives today. What has happened is done. What is to happen will take place on its own time and at its own pace. In this day, at this moment, we are alive, and we're free to choose how to feel and what to do right now. We are free to feel grateful for the chance to live again. We are free to take advantage of this chance to do our best. If we need help, we are free to ask for that as well. By living the present the best way we are also ensuring that good memories will be our gift for the future. Each day we live as well as we can makes our lives more worthwhile, more content, more our own. Today, let me enjoy the moments I am in, for they are all I have. We've chatted about this theme before. And it strikes a chord with some conversations that I've had this week. I have this philosophy about part one and part two of my life. And I believe that everybody, like everything, everybody, every memory, every contribution up to the last, 45 years was part one of my life. And now 46 on will be part two. And that part one kind of prepared me for that. And I don't really hang out there much. I am currently writing it all down. And when I'm done with that, then I don't plan on revisiting there. I will to share my story, but even that, I guess, I've been thinking about this. I got feedback twice this week that as I share my story, that my audience has said, basically they'd really, I don't want to say like to see my pain, but they don't necessarily feel the pain that's caused from the gambling addiction in the way I'm delivering the message. And I've been trying to digest that. And what I realize, it's not that I didn't experience the pain. It's not that I don't relate to other people's pain. It's that I'm grateful for the pain and I'm grateful for where it led me. So I don't show sadness and I don't know. I don't want to say, grief or the misery. That doesn't show up for me because I know that even that had a purpose. So it's really crazy. So the energy I'm putting off is not one of the shame and the guilt and all the feelings that went with gambling. The energy I'm putting off is where I'm at today in this part two of my life. And the gratitude just kind of bubbles over, I guess. So it was interesting feedback, and I'll have to digest it, but I'm grateful for even that. And I'm great that that's how I'm showing up for the world, in a good place. Cause that's really what I want people to understand. I want the people who don't understand gambling and the severity of the consequences if people do become addicted. And then I want the gamblers that don't know that there's hope for a better life to understand that the life on the other side of gambling could be so beautiful. No matter how much debt we're in, no matter how much damage we've done, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And when you come out on the other side, you'll be exactly where you're supposed to be. And it's really powerful once the light bulb goes on for that. It's just beautiful. Yeah, that's my interpretation of the memories and the sadness. And this reading really talks about living in today. And we should think about the magnitude of that. And I know that I've read the poems or the things that talk about, like yesterday's gone, we have today, we can't really do much about tomorrow. And again, I was thinking about that this morning with Oscar. He asked me, he wanted to be on the podcast. He had volunteered. And in my mind, he was going to be on step 11 in November. And I blew it. You guys will never have the fortune to meet Oscar and to hear his experience, strength, and hope. This is a man who has been down a lot of tracks of learning, I guess we can call them. He has been in long-term recovery for drugs and alcohol and gambling. And he was a bright life in all of our lives that really, he cheerleaded for everybody. And he did what he could that day, every day. He was the guy you picked up the phone no matter when you needed him, day or night. He always had a positive word. I will say he challenged us, like he gave me grief about smoking and maybe even drinking. Bobby, why don't you just stop? Bobby, just stop. Why are you smoking, Bobby? You gotta give that up. It was cheerleading and rooting for us, never from a place other than love. He was 70 years old and in school faithfully on Monday nights. He was in, I mess up these words all the time. Is it seminary school? Am I saying it right? He was going to school to learn how to be, I don't know if it's a pastor or reverend, but every Monday night, and if he wasn't in his class at 70 years old, to share his relationship with God and his messaging, if he wasn't there, then he showed up at Monday night group. Like that's the guy he was. He was 24/7 about service and recovery, and he lived in the moment. And I'm just so grateful to have had him in my life as an example, as a friend, as a golfing buddy. Lots of reasons to love Oscar. So let's make today about living in today. Whether you're here with me on June 6th or you're here with me in the future, every day we should be living in today. I know I'm going to go outside and I'm going to enjoy that sunshine, and I'm going to go say goodbye to Oscar, and I'm going to be productive, and hopefully I'll see one of my friends from work. She has Girl Scout cookies for me, which is good because I'm almost out of ice cream. So there's lots to be grateful for today. I hope that you guys get to enjoy every moment of wherever you're at and whatever you're doing. And if it's not all that you imagine, think about what it looks like if it is, and try to find the small things to be grateful for. If you just start with one little thing and just be mindful, you'll find more and more things to be grateful for. It's a beautiful thing once we learn to do that. All right, beautiful people. Bobby the Awesome is going to get ready to face the day. Have a beautiful, positive day. So long.